everybody, JC here, and welcome to another live stream. Now, I know it's Friday. Normally, I do the pre-recorded videos on Friday, but in all honesty, I decided to go with the live stream route just because I'm pretty tired, and if I did a pre-recorded video, then I'd be doing a lot of editing, and so suffice to say, it's just easier to do the live stream. Lot to talk about today because we got a lot of Marvel Legend reveals, which I think, at least if you stay tuned to Marvelous News, knew what was going to primarily be revealed today. We talked about it here on YouTube as well. So a few surprises, but for the most part, we knew it was going to be the new X-Men wave, which I was the first to tell you guys about here on the internet. That was mine. I got to break that one. Not that I'm keeping score or anything, but and then also the new retro cardback Spider-Man wave. And then with the teasers that Hasbro gave at the end of their video, we also got some confirmation on some other rumors that I brought to you guys before, and we're going to talk about that as well. But we haven't just gotten Marvel Legend news. We also have gotten quite a bit of Transformer news that I want to touch on today as well from some overseas conventions. It's been kind of a busy week to a certain point. So we're going to go over that and then just a few other things as well I wanted to touch upon today. So let's real quick just do a quick roll call, see who's in the house today. Mr. 777, happy Friday, peeps. What time? Zim is in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Paul Zach, what's up? Spider-Man 7. I agree with you, Paul. That was probably my favorite reveal, other than the fact that it's going to be a Walmart exclusive. I wasn't happy with that, but I am loving to see that figure, and I do hope that means we are going to get more classic Marvel TV figures down the road, which we'll definitely talk about more here in just a bit. Sean, what is up? Good to see you, my friend. Judge Dreads is in the house. Good to see you. Max Zombie, always good to see a zombie in the house. John is in the house. What is up? I'm glad you're going live over the pre-recorded video. I like the pre-recorded videos, but I will say statistic-wise, more people seem to watch the pre-recorded videos. So I don't know, but I definitely enjoy talking with you guys and stuff. And again, it is definitely easier not having to spend a couple hours editing a video and all that junk. Leo, what is up? Good to hear from you. Spider 77, hands down, my favorite reveal, according to John. Yeah, again, I would have to agree with you guys. That was probably my favorite reveal. And most surprising, I wasn't really expecting that one either. So I guess since that is what I think is on most people's minds, we will start with the Marvel news. So let's just hop over to Marvelous News. Hopefully, you were keeping it there, getting all the latest updates, because it's obviously you can just watch the Hasbro live stream, but you actually get information that Hasbro didn't provide if you keep it to Marvel. So again, I had been telling you guys about the Spider-Man cardback wave when I saw the Spider-Boy figure revealed last week. I had a feeling that was going to be one of the focuses of this live stream. And then same thing with the Fabian Cortez, that made me feel like that was another wave. And generally, for those of you who've been collecting Marvel Legends for a long time, you know that generally the first waves of the year that get released are Spider-Man and or X-Men. So it's almost always those are the first two waves, a Spider-Man themed wave and an X-Men themed wave, that get released at the beginning of the year. So it really makes sense that that's what they focused on here. And then yesterday, out of that Brazil comic convention, we got the additional reveals of the female Elektra and Electro, not Elektra, the female Electro and the Age of Apocalypse Gambit. And then both of those were part of the Spider-Man and X-Men wave. And when I saw those, I was like, yeah, we're definitely going to be getting the reveals for those waves today. So, again, now I will say I called the Wolverine figure Ultimate Wolverine. And in fact, I guess that is technically not correct. It is actually Extreme Wolverine. So forgive me for misclassifying the Wolverine figure in the original rumor list. But They look very similar to me. So, not having ever been a big reader of Ultimate or later X-Men, um, it's not a version of Wolverine I'm super familiar with. But so that was really the only thing got wrong in the rumored list. Now, as someone I like to give credit where credit is due, Displaying Model Behavior was actually the first person that gave us the information on the Spider-Man wave. I got further confirmation, last month on that wave, but he was actually the first one to put that information out. The X-Men figures, I was the first one to put that information out. I believe Displaying Model Behavior then repeated that information on one of his own videos, but I was actually the first one to give you that, guys. Again, not keeping score, but just kind of like to make those little notes. And yes, I realized that this information, if you look hard enough, is readily well, not readily, but you can find it. So I'm not someone who's going to sit there and say, "Oh, that guy ripped me off because he didn't credit me for the information." Though Displaying Model Behavior, I do believe credited Marvelous News for the X-Men wave in his video, and I did, of course, credit him for the Spider-Man wave. So, and we'll look at the images, but just to go down the X-Men wave. So Wolverine, X-Force Nightcrawler, Age of Apocalypse Gambit, X-Factor Cyclops, blue and yellow with a new optic blast. So I was kind of like, I don't really need another Cyclops. And even though they asked in the live stream if people wanted to see the rest of the X Factor team, the original X Factor team, which was the original X-Men team, and I definitely would. But I am not super confident that we're ever going to really see that from Hasbro, or at least, not in any kind of timely manner, being we are still waiting for them to complete our X-Force team, our Excalibur team, things like that. So, and Salome is here, people trying to get in on the act. But the new optic blast actually looks really cool, which I'll show you if you haven't seen it. So that one is now a little more interesting to me. Morrow, 90s version of Morrow, Generations Husk, Generation X Husk, and then Fabian Cortez, which was revealed last month. So then the Spider-Man wave is animated series Chameleon. As I told you guys, I pretty much knew once they teased that mask. I think it was last month. They teased that folded up mask. I knew that's what was going to be, and we've already gotten a comic book based Chameleon, so it had to be an animated series Chameleon. I was half expecting the Chameleon figure to be released as a Walmart exclusive, but it is just a general release. 90s Clone Saga Keen, the female Electro character, the Spider-Man Unlimited from the cartoon series, which was actually a spin-off from the Spider-Man animated series. Agent Venom, yes, Salome, and Spider-Boy, which was revealed last week. And the Agent Venom, that was another one where I was like not super excited for, but then when I saw this one, I was like, well, the unmasked head and everything. So this is going to be a must for me. I liked this cartoon back in the day, so I'm going to get this one. First time we've ever gotten this version of Spider-Man in the Marvel Legend line, or really any figure line, to be honest. I don't even think back when the cartoon was out, they did toys for it. I might be wrong on that, but I don't remember a toy line for this particular cartoon. So I will be getting that one. This new Agent Venom looks much improved upon the Walmart exclusive version that we got years ago, and I like the Flash Thompson unmasked head. So I will be getting that one. The Spider-Boy, I don't really know anything about Spider-Boy. Didn't even know he had fangs. So, and the female Elektra, not really that keen on. Keen, I'm kind of on the fence on Kane. I remember the original storyline with him and everything. He was kind of a big deal, so I may end up getting that one. Animated series Chameleon, I will get. So that one I will definitely end up getting. So Spider Boy, I probably could pass on. Female Electro, I can definitely pass on. But Kane is a maybe, and the others I will definitely get. And this Spider-Man wave, goes up for pre-order next week. I thought it was December 10th. It looked like Entertainment Earth had listed Hasbro pre-order for December 10th, and I was thinking that was going to be the what was going to go up. But it looks like, according to Hasbro, at least, it's going to be December 12th. So these will be available everywhere. Entertainment Earth, Big Bad Toy Store, Amazon should have them as well. 1 p.m. Eastern Time is when this line goes up. And Electro, I guess technically her name is Francine Fry. Again, I have not ever read any of the comics with her in it, so it's not that she's a female. I just have no attachment to the character. So let's jump back into more images. So there's another look at the female Electro. Not a bad looking figure. I just not a version that I'm that interested in. Spider Boy, again, not a character I'm terribly familiar with, but the Fang look is definitely kind of interesting. So, but I don't see myself getting this one. I probably will pass on this one. Again, this one, the Unlimited Spider-Man, I definitely will be getting this one. I like the sculpting detail on it. I think it looks pretty nice. So that one I definitely will be getting. And if you haven't seen the cartoon, I do recommend that. I don't know if it streams on Disney Plus or not, but if it's out there, I do recommend that you check it out. Again, Kane looks pretty good, though the hair maybe looks a little too clean to me. I don't know. Again, I'm loving this Agent Venom. I like he's got the working gun holster. I like the unmasked head. He's got multiple guns, so I will definitely be getting this one to replace the older Walgreens exclusive one that was released years ago. Package images, and I'm loving the chameleon figure. I definitely will get that one. I had the original. Actually, I still have it somewhere. It's in a box, but I still have the original Toy Biz one, 5-inch Toy Biz one that they did. So that one I will get. So this was a little bit of a surprise. Professor Xavier, they're calling this a Savage Land version, has this Rebo helmet, wearing the green jumpsuit, no wheelchair or anything. I think he was walking during the storyline this is technically based on. He's got the two-pointed fingers, so you can make it look like he's using his telekinesis. On a retro card back. This is going to be a Target exclusive. No word on when this is going to go up for pre-order, but probably I'm going to probably say February timeframe of next year. I'm thinking. I feel like both Walmart and Target will probably do some type of collector event around Toy Fair time, February. So that's just my speculation. And then this one we talked about. This again is probably my favorite reveal. This is based on the 1977 Spider-Man. I guess it started as a movie. I didn't actually remember the movie, but it was a TV show, a live-action TV show. His web shooter was on the outside, um, and we're getting like a rope type webbing effect, which is kind of in keeping with how basically when he shot his webs out, it looked like he was just shooting a rope out at people. So that's what they're kind of mimicking. So that's kind of a cool little touch. Again, I would love to see more classic TV Marvel figures. A Bill Bixby, Lou Ferrigno Hulk set is something I would love to see. I have a feeling maybe likeness rates, especially Spider-Man's wearing a mask. Notice we don't get an unmasked version of the actor, so that might be a hindrance for some of these. But I would love to see from the late '70s, '80s Hulk TV series. It would be great if we got a Bruce, or he actually never went by Bruce, but a Banner Hulk 2-pack at some point. And then I wouldn't mind seeing Captain America, with the clear shield where he wore the motorcycle helmet. That would be kind of a cool figure to get. Thor and Daredevil that appeared in the later Hulk movies, when they tried to kind of bring the Hulk series back. Those would be kind of cool figures to do. So, if we got a series of TV based Marvel figures, that would be awesome. I would definitely pick those all up. Now, again, this is a Walmart exclusive. Unfortunately, that's the one downside to this figure. So it's going to be released at Walmart. Again, I'm thinking probably around August timeframe, or not August, but February timeframe when we might see this. Just I'm thinking, I could see Walmart doing a collector con around that time. Third figure, this is going up for pre-order next week. Or they said later this month, so maybe not next week. Not next week, because next week is the Spider-Man wave, but probably the following week is when, sometime the following week is when this lizard figure from No Way Home is going to be released, or go up for pre-order, I should say. And this again is an Amazon exclusive. So if you've been wanting Lizard from No Way Home / the original, Spider-Man movies, or I guess this was the Andrew Garfield movies that Lizard appeared in. I was not a huge fan of the Lizard. There's your Fabian Cortez. Does have the ponytail. The cape's removable. Your Age of Apocalypse Gambit. I probably will get the Cortez. The Gambit I will not get. I did not get any of the other Age of Apocalypse figures, so that will probably be an easy pass for me. Nightcrawler, X-Force Nightcrawler. I'm not really into the black and gray X-Force colors, so I probably will pass on that one as well. Tusk, we're getting Generation X. So this one's kind of interesting with the multiple faces, with the skin that you can kind of tear off. So I probably will not get this one. I didn't get any of the other Generation X figures that they've done. Wasn't a favorite series of mine, to be honest, though. This is the sister of Cannonball, another sister. Or no, I'm sorry. I was thinking she is the sister Cannonball. This is the only sister Cannonball has. Not to be confused with Magic, who's the sister of Colossus. And this is the Wolverine figure. So this is Cyclops with the new optic blast, where it's kind of exploding there at the tip. So that I definitely think looks good. I like that. And I assume it will work on the other Cyclops figures that have the optic blast feature. And it looks like, I guess, he's going to come with the regular optic blast as well. This is another one that I will probably end up getting. Always found her to be an interesting character, Morrow. Now this one, this is the Build-A-Figure. So I hadn't seen any information for the Build-A-Figure. Generally, you don't get the Build-A-Figure info from these lists that end up slipping out. So since it was a 7-figure wave, I assumed it was going to have a Build-A-Figure, but I didn't have any idea what it was going to be. So they called this the Modern Nemesis. They did a classic version from Age of Apocalypse a long time ago, but they called this a modern version. Now somebody said, and I am not familiar with this version. But somebody said this actually isn't Nemesis. This is a different character, or at least a character that had a different name. So that's beyond my realm of expertise, because again, I have not read any comics with this version of him. It looks pretty cool, but that's probably a Build-A-Figure that for me personally I can pass on. He does have the helmet is removable, and you can just have the flaming head. It looks kind of like, and the jaw works, I believe, so you can have different expressions. Looks like a Ghost Rider head to me. All right, so this was a tease. This is the only tease I'm not 100% sure about. So this to me looks like blades from like Archangel's wings. So they're black. Now, Ryan did say in the video that this was unfinished. So it may be these are unpainted. I don't know. Um, so we'll have to wait and see. I did a little research, and let me jump down because I posted this image on our forums. And you guys may know this better than me, but So this image, so the wings kind of look like this, and this is from Dark X-Men storyline. Again, I've not read this, so I don't know if his wings are actually black in this story or if they're just if that's just shadowing. So I am not entirely sure, but very much this the image they showed reminds me of those wings. So there are rumors of an archangel figure, a new archangel figure coming. It's supposed to be an X-Force version, but maybe we get some alternate pairs of wings to do this dark X-Men version. Was kind of my thinking, maybe. So maybe we get alternate heads with this kind of skull head. But that again, that's the only tease that they gave us that I'm not 100% sure about. So that one, I don't know for sure. The other two, however, I do 100% know what they are for. Let me get back to the images. They're all on the forums too, so I'm just going to jump. So let's see. If they do all X Factor, in the original X Factor outfits, I will definitely. This is a figure I would definitely get, but again, I'm just not convinced that they will. Okay, so this one is Warlock Staff. So I've talked about this before. There is going to be, we'll call it rumor for now because Hasbro's not officially confirmed it, but there is a mini comic wave coming. One of the figures in that wave will be the ROM, the Space Knight figure that they teased back at San Diego Comic Con. And then another figure that should be in that line is Adam Warlock from the Infinity Gauntlet comic. So it'll come with a little mini Infinity Gauntlet comic. And that is, I'm 99.9% sure, is Adam Warlock's staff for that figure. So that pretty much to me confirms that there is in fact a mini comic line, which was another rumor that I gave you. And we'll go back. I'll go back and we'll talk about the other figures rumored to refresh all of our minds. This is obviously Spider-Man's webbing, but specifically this is for that new Marvel Legends Ultimate line that I've told you guys about that is coming. Not Ultimate as in the Ultimate Comics, but Ultimate as in a figure that is going to be packed with a lot of accessories. So the first two figures in this Ultimate subline will be Spider-Man and Hulk, and that is that webbing effect is one of the accessories that the Spider-Man figure will come with. So that in my mind confirms 100%, well, 90, we'll say 99.9 about the Ultimate line. So that is what that is teasing. Going back real quick to the X-Men, this is going up for pre-order later this year, or later in 2025. So my guess is probably like the first week of January, first or second week of January is when this wave will go up for pre-order. So like I say, we're going to get the Spider-Man wave for pre-order next week. And then probably the following week, we are going to get the Amazon exclusive Lizard figure. Then we're going into Christmas and New Year's, so I don't expect there to be any pre-orders over the course of that time period. And then when we get into, like I say, the first or second week of January, that's when likely this wave, which is technically the second wave of 2025, will go up for pre-order. Hasbro did not give a specific date for that wave, but again, I would say probably first or second week. I'm thinking probably first week, but what exact day, I don't know. All right, so just to recap. So the mini comic wave. So this is where you're going to see that Adam Warlock figure. So Adam Warlock with Infinity Gauntlet #1 mini comic. Again, the ROM the Space Knight figure that they teased back at San Diego will be in this wave. There should be a Banshee, a green and yellow classic costume Banshee with giant-sized X-Men. #1 will be the mini comic with that one. A new Miles Morales Spider-Man with Miles Morales, the Ultimate Spider-Man #1 comic. A Dark Avengers Wolverine figure. So Dakin, but I don't know. I assume it's just going to be Wolverine. It's going to be Dakin in his Wolverine costume as he wore in the Dark Avengers. That is my assumption, and will come with Dark Avengers #1 mini comic, and then an actual from the Ultimate Comics Ultimate Iron Man, like his original appearance with which I believe Hasbro did a figure of back in the day. I think it was Hasbro, not Toy Biz, that did the Ultimate Iron Man, but I believe an updated version of that Iron Man. And we'll have an Ultimate Iron Man mini comic. I wasn't sure which issue it was, but it will be some type of Ultimate Iron Man mini comic. So again, that staff tease should be for these new mini comic figures or figures with mini comics. So no build a figure with this, just the figures with the mini comics. Probably will have some type of new packaging to focus on the comic aspect of it. I'm guessing. I haven't seen the packaging, but I'm just speculating. But again, that should be what that staff teaser was for. And then the Ultimate figures. Again, I've talked about multiple times. Figures with a lot of accessories. The Hulk figure will be 8.5 inches tall, have multiple head sculpts. Will have like a firing missile that he can like catch in his, that's it's like looks like a firing missile, but it's made so he can catch it in his hands. He's going to have some clapping wind effects. So things like that. The Spider-Man's going to have multiple heads, an unmasked head, multiple webbing effects, multiple hands, things like that. A few other things as well. So again, and it is called the Ultimate Marvel Legends Ultimate is what the subline is going to be titled. So that's what that webbing effect was teasing this for the Spider-Man figure. So that it seems pretty much like these figures that were rumored. A collaboration, you can say, between myself and Displaying Model Behavior seem like are pretty much on spot. Now, I will tell you, Displaying Model Behavior mentioned something about a Werewolf by Night and Carol Danvers figure. Now, he in his initial video, he didn't know about the mini comics, and then he mentioned these additional figures. I personally have not seen any indication of those two, so we'll have to see how that ends up coming out. Some of the stuff, like Dave mentioned, these 2-packs with a Champion and Magus, and Inhumans, Triton, and Black Bolt. Those are things I'm taking Displaying Model Behavior's word on those because I have not seen any indication of those myself. But and then some Gamerverse stuff is coming. But again, so far we're on track with these rumors. So I'm pretty happy with what we saw. Going back to the live stream today. So when they were talking about the Lizard figure, okay, they also mentioned that there was going to be another villain coming to go along with the Doc Ock and the Green Goblin and the Sandman that they've already done, and now the Lizard. It's pretty easy to guess who the final one is, but I can tell you 99.9% that it will be an Electro figure from the movies. I cannot tell you. I don't think it'll be a store exclusive. So unlike Lizard, which is Amazon exclusive, I think the Electro will be a general release. I will also tell you that, and they said there would be another villain, but another figure that should be coming in the Spider-Man movie theme is a Tobey Maguire black costume Spider-Man from Spider-Man 3. Should be coming as well. So if you're into the Spider-Man movie stuff, you'll have those to look forward to. All right, so that is all I have for you on the Marvel Legend front today, but a lot of stuff there to unpack. While we're on Marvel, I also just wanted to share for you Hot Toy fans. Hot Toys released some images from the Tokyo Comic Con, and most of these we had seen, but I don't think this one we had seen, Mr. Knight from the Moon Knight TV series. I might be wrong. Maybe they showed this one. I just don't remember it. But, it looks pretty good there. X-23, that one we have seen. We just saw the anti-Venom from the video game series revealed earlier this week. Version 2 of Captain America from the Winter Soldier movie. Some exclusives. This Iron Patriot exclusive. Venom and Doctor Doom for the Hana line. Actually, I'm not sure if these I think are new as well. I don't think we've seen these before. Maybe the Venom we saw, I don't know. But the Doctor Doom, I don't think we've seen before. So, for you Hot Toy fans, got some new Marvel stuff coming. And going up for pre-order earlier this week, the other day, was it yesterday? I don't know. So much happened this week, I've kind of lost track. Yes, it was yesterday. So this was previously released as a Target store exclusive. That first appearance, Amazing Spider-Man figure, but you can now pre-order it. If you missed out on it at Target, you can now pre-order it at places like Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth. It is just a straight up reissue of that Target store exclusive, which I think was like the second time. The Target version was the second time we got this figure. So this is actually kind of the third time we're getting it, but it does have the retro card back. So, like the Target one. So, again, this is available now at places like Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth. All right, before we get into Transformers, let me just see what you guys are saying here, see if you guys have any questions. See what you guys are thinking about these new reveals. Mr. Allmine, good to see you in the house. I don't collect Spider-Man, so there was nothing I want from that wave. How can you not collect any Spider-Man? Power Turtle Buster. When Morrow coming out through the hair is all wrong. Are you asking when she's coming? She's coming out in the X-Men wave, which, like I said, probably will be first or second week of January. I didn't think the hair looked bad, but cartoons and cannabis. JC, the reveal I was most excited for was Savage Land Professor Xavier. I wouldn't mind getting that figure to put in the hover chair, because that's kind of like what he wears in the X-Men cartoon, not the suit. And there's rumors of an X-Men 97 Professor Xavier. So I wouldn't be surprised if we actually see that figure again with the hover chair that they previously released for the X-Men 97 line. But yeah, that's kind of a cool figure. I am bummed that we didn't get the Big Eyes Spider-Man Classic Spider-Man, a homage to the Spider-Man Classics from Toy Biz. Well, we'll probably get it one day. I'm also excited about the Savage X. They also mentioned more Savage Land X-Men figures will be coming in 2025. Dwight, throughout the name, or throughout, the four-armed guy. So I've not seen any indication of that figure, but I feel like there's a good chance maybe that one is coming. So more Savage Land characters in the future, in the fairly near future. Not getting 90% of these. Wish they did MVC. Do you mean MCU? There's nothing ultimate about that Wolverine. I don't know. Like I said, I never read the Ultimate comics, but I feel like that was a costume that he wore in the Ultimates. But I did mischaracterize the Wolverine. So again, my apologies for that. A lot of good reveals today. I wish the Chameleon was a comic book version, but well, we've gotten a comic book version before, um, wearing the suit. So I'm actually pretty happy with, to me, it's less about the cartoon and more about like a tribute to the original 5-inch Toy Biz version, which was based on the cartoon. But, that was like, that's those original 5-inch Toy Biz figures are really what got me into Marvel figures. So I always love seeing kind of tributes to those. I have my classic X-Men set up. Didn't see anything I got to have, but maybe Nemesis on eBay because I'm not buying a wave for him. Yes, Salome does. Like I told you the other day, like ever since I was gone a week visiting my dad, and ever since I've gotten back, like anytime I sit down, Salome's in my lap. So she's like going to make sure I never go away again. The ideal version of Chameleon would be the one from Spider-Man's Amazing Friends. In fact, I would love to get some more villains from that show, like Video Man. I don't remember Chameleon's look from that series, but I do. I would agree that if we got some like villains that were just from that cartoon, that would be kind of cool. The Professor X is pure custom fodder. I hope it'll be interesting to see how easy the Professor X is going to be to get because again, unfortunately, it's a Target store exclusive. I was gonna get. I was gone for a sec. Any of my question comments get answered? Probably. I went down the line, but now I forgot which ones were your questions. That would be super cool. Bill Bixby and Lou Ferrigno Hulk would definitely. I would get those in a heartbeat. Like I say, my only concern is maybe likeness rates, especially with Bill Bixby. I feel like Lou Ferrigno they could probably get fairly easily, but I mean he wants some money, but I'm sure he'd be willing to do it. But being Bill Bixby is no longer alive, and you have to go through the estate and all that jazz. That might be uh, a lot of red tape that they would have to cut through to be able to make that happen. I watched the Hulk, but none of the others. I watched. Well, Hulk was. I mean, I think everybody watched the Hulk. I think like for those of us that grew up in the '70s and '80s, that Hulk series was like one of our first real windows into Marvel. Came on Friday nights, like right after. I forget if it was before or after Dukes of Hazzard, but it was like Hulk, Dukes of Hazzard, and Dallas on Friday nights on CBS. And the Spider-Man series, I don't. I feel like I watched that more in like syndication, like when they would replay episodes. I don't think I watched that when it first came out. Like Ryan was mentioning that there was like a movie that started the series, and I don't remember the movie, but I do remember the series. And I mean, for the time that it was done as a TV show, it actually wasn't too bad. I mean, they had him climbing up walls and stuff. Again, his webs looked like ropes. It looked like he was shooting string out at people. But I guess maybe first I take it back on the Hulk. Probably people like me who grew up in the 70s and 80s, our first real window to Marvel was Spider Man on the Electric Company. And I would love to see some villains from that. I would love to see Hasbro do like the Wall character. That I would get that in a second. So Electric Company Spider Man and some of his rogue gallery from there would be cool for me as well. I don't see it being like a huge seller. That's probably like a very small niche, but that would be cool. There are images on Instagram of that Adam Warlock. I have seen images myself, but I haven't seen them on Instagram, so I'll take your word for it. But I'm seeing so many figures I don't want. Well, I mean, we've talked about that before. I feel like, Marvel Legends has been around for so long and they've done so many figures and so many characters that you're down to either doing the same characters over and over again, which gets kind of tiring, even when they're improved. You're like, do I really need another of this character? Do I really need another Wolverine? Do I really need another Spider-Man? Do I need another Iron Man? So, those are the most notable characters, and especially somebody new coming into the line. But there's a big question of how many new people are really coming into the line these days, with the higher prices and all that. And so, with a line that's been around as long as Marvel Legends, you really start to get to this point where when you start doing these really obscure characters, only a small handful of people are going to want them for various reasons. We all have, we're different ages. We came to Marvel at different time periods. There are things that resonated with us. And so those are the things that have appeal. But, like for instance, the Spider Boy figure. I've never read a single comic with Spider Boy. That's a more modern character. I don't really read the comics anymore, so I have no attachment to that character. So if I got that figure, it would just be to get it, not because I really want it. So I think that's what you're down to is, Hasbro, when they start doing these characters, there's only going to be small handfuls of people that actually are really that interested. I don't think there's too many completists in any action figure line these days. I could be wrong, but I feel like the days of there being people who just bought every single figure in the line are few and far between. So, again, especially with higher prices and stuff. So, I think that's just always going to be the case that if you came away from a live stream like this and there was one or two figures that you wanted, that's probably a good thing. But I would be shocked if today, if you're a longtime Marvel Legend collector, if you're going to walk away from one of these streams and feel like, oh my God, I got to get all of this stuff, because, it's either going to be super obscure characters or it's going to be characters that we've gotten multiple times over and over again over the years. So that's kind of the downside to when you're dealing with, something that's been around as long as Marvel Legends has. That's why, when you go back to the question of if Hasbro ever gave up the Marvel license, we pretty much know that they've got it through 2026 because they've already said they're working on figures for 2026. But let's assume that they decided they didn't want the license or they lost the license at the end of 2026. Who would pick up the license? And then what is somebody else really, really going to be able to do with that line that hasn't already been done? That's going to just be like, let me just start over and collect these new figures from this new company. I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm saying, that's easier said than done. And I don't care what company it is, that's not going to be an easy feat. Because as much as people bash Hasbro, it's always fun to bash Hasbro. But the reality is, not including like those first couple years, Hasbro's done some pretty nice figures over the years, and especially at that kind of 20 to 30 dollar price point. Um, they've really given us some pretty cool figures over the years, and I really feel like there isn't going to be a toy company that's easily going to come out and be able to top that, especially again at the price point that Marvel Legends generally cost. We need new X-Men First Class set. The toy. Oh, I would agree. Well, if they did that version of X-Men, I would want them in the not their original outfits that they arrived in, but the new outfits that they end up getting. I would definitely be interested in a set of X-Men with those outfits. But I agree, that Toys R Us box set. I didn't even get that box set. I passed on that box set because it looked so bad. But I was a huge X Factor fan, the original X Factor comics, with Cyclops and the team, which was the original X Men. I have all that run of X Factor and stuff, so I would love to get that team in those original X Factor outfits. We've gotten versions of Cyclops. We've gotten both the white and blue outfit, and now we're getting the blue and yellow outfit. But we need Jean Grey in the brown and yellow outfit. We need Beast in the brown. I would like to see a human form Beast in his brown X Factor outfit. Iceman, you could do with the belt, the power inhibitor belt. Um, Archangel, or I don't know if you do Archangel or Angel, but um, give him that. So that's what I would love to see. But again, I would also like to see Hasbro finish the X Force team to give us a Pharaoh figure. I would like to see them finish the Excalibur team, giving us a Rachel Summers figure. Teams that Hasbro's been leaving us dangling, uncompleted teams that Hasbro's been leaving us dangling with for years. I feel like they really need to start getting around to finishing before starting a brand new team. Um, but yes, I would definitely love to see that. I surely hope Hasbro keeps the license. I love that they do with the line, one of my favorite domestic toy lines, and I, for one, wouldn't be interested in a diaper Spider Man from McFarlane. Yeah, I, I mean, I'm not one to bash McFarlane, and they have put out some good figures, some good DC figures, but yes, I think if McFarlane did the license, they would really have to find new ways to make their figures. If they just gave us like DC Multiverse Marvel figures, I think a lot of people would not be happy with that. Um, Maybe I'm wrong, but I do think that would be the case. All right, so let's continue on because we still have other news. So if you're into collaboration Transformers, this was announced. We saw initial image yesterday, but the official announcement came out today. Sonic the Hedgehog Transformers. So Wingtail and Blue Booster are. This is going to be the set's going to be a Target store exclusive. You can see blue. The blue one is supposed to be Sonic, and the yellow one is supposed to be Tails. Sonic turns into a car, and Tails turns into a biplane type vehicle. Yeah, biplane. So Tails actually is the Tails in the plane mode. I actually think that's kind of cool, but overall, this is something where I look at and I go, did anyone ever really ask for this? So I don't know, but again, this is going to be a Target store exclusive. It is going to be going up for pre-order next week, $49.99. Um, see the date. Thought we had the date for next week for when this goes up. But, yeah, so December 10th. So 1 p.m. Eastern time or thereabouts. You never know with Target, but that will be offered. But more interesting, so we had an overseas convention where a bunch of Transformer reveals were made. So the next, if you're you probably heard, if you collect Transformers at all, you probably already knew this, but the next line of Transformers is called Age of Primes. That's the new heading for the new line of figures coming out. So, of course, we're getting another Optimus Prime, Star Optimus Prime. That's going to be $89.99. Getting a leader class, a Megatronus. So that is going to be $54.99. Uh, Age of Prime's Grimlock. So looks like a repainted Grimlock in blue and gold with a wheelie repaint. That's going to be $54.99. But the coolest reveals were new aerial bots. So we already knew we got Constructicons coming, and it looks like following right up also is aerial bots. So this is Silverbolt, which is going to be $89.99. So Silverbolt's not terribly cheap. but he is a commander class. And yes, we are getting all the aerial bots, and they will combine into Superion, which I'll show you in just a minute. Prima Prime. So 13, I guess this is a Voyager class. I guess there's 13 primes. And even though this kind of follows the story in Transformers 1 a little bit, I don't think technically this is part of that. Autobot Red Alert, 34.99. Solus Prime, so another Prime. That's a deluxe class, 24.99. So here's another aerial bot, air raid, and these look very much like the aerial bots. That is, look very much like their kind of G1 counterparts, which I like. So this is a deluxe class. That's going to be 24.99. Waspinator, which is a deluxe class. That's going to be 24.99. Slingshot, so another aerial bot, 24.99. Hasbro just put out these official images, so this is actually kind of the first I'm seeing the official images. There's the Sonic the Hedgehog 2-pack I told you about. So there's your packaging for Silverbolt. Looks like a Golden Age Cybertron underneath in there, which is kind of cool. But here is your look at Superion. So I think, I won't swear, but I think this is going to be, even though Superion is, pretty big, but he's like the middle part. Or not Superion, but Slingbolt or Silverbolt. But I think, actually, that is just Silverbolt transform. I thought there was an image of Superion. But you can see Superion. Yeah, so Superion's going to work just like Menasor. If you have the recent Menasor. So, they're all going to plug in, the individual jets are going to plug into basically Superion is the main, or Silverbolt is the main, part of Superion, and then the others are essentially going to kind of just plug in to him. So this should be the same size as the Menasor figure. So if you've got Menasor, you're going to want the aerial bots to fight, to fight the Stunticons. So, the Stunticons were the aerial bots' arch nemesis. So definitely looks much improved beyond the previous Superion aerial bots that we got. Though those weren't too bad, but I think these will be better. More looks at Waspinator, Solus Prime, Grimlock. I got to quit. This was a good Grimlock figure, but this is what, like the third time they've repainted this figure? Third or fourth time? And this is just a straight up repaint. So Megatronus, the Fallen. It's a tank. Has some fire effects you can put on him. And then the 13-star Optimus Prime. So this is your newest Optimus Prime. I like the trailer. You can see a hot rod. So is hot rod included? No, I don't think hot rod is included. Oh, yeah, there is a little mini hot rod. So that's kind of interesting. So Hot Rod, who's very small, but he is included, fits inside. So it's kind of an interesting take. Red Alert, Prima Prime. So I don't know. I don't think we have pre-order dates for any of these yet. Let me just double check. Oh no, I take that back. Pre-orders will be opening on December 10th, so 1 p.m. So mark your calendars. I don't know if all of these are going to go up, but I guess they will. So that's a lot of Transformers. But for me personally, I definitely am going to get the aerial bots. I don't know about the others. I'm more of a G1 guy, so I tend to stick with the stuff that is in keeping with G1. But so definitely those new aerial bots are must gets for me. For you Star Trek fans, oops, wrong story. For you McFarlane NHL fans, we're getting Team USA Matthews and Team Canada McDavid figures if you're collecting the new sports pick stuff. But I really want to talk about for you Star Trek fans, the Nacelle Company is going to be doing 7-inch Star Trek figures. Today they started this survey where they're asking whether you want the figures to have an ab crunch or no ab crunch. So these are digital renders, but it gives you a look. So this is their Captain Jericho Jellico. I guess I always pronounced it Jericho, but I guess it's Jellico. Um, was in a two-part episode of Next Generation, played by Ronnie Cox, who you may know from RoboCop, Beverly Hills Cop. Um, but so he's one of the figures that are supposed to be in Wave One that they announced at New York Comic Con. But again, they want to know if you think they should include an ab crunch or no ab crunch. I would. I think it looks a little better without the ab crunch, but I probably, for the most, like with a figure like this one, I wouldn't care that much either way. But in general, I probably would like to see ab crunches included. But they're taking input on their Facebook page. You can hit this if you want to go to TNI. You can hit this link, give your input if you're interested at all. Um, so they are taking input. Vampirella, if you're a Vampirella fan, so this is coming from Icon Collectibles. Not too bad a looking figure, even with the articulation. I don't have any word on price yet, but those are all the accessories that are going to come with the figure. And this is going up for pre order next week. Or is that next week? Or December 18th? Oh, no, is that next week or the week after? I think it's the week after. December 18th, 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Should be available. They said select detailers, but I think at least Big Bad Toy Store will probably have it. I don't know if Entertainment Earth will, but Big Bad Toy Store, I believe, will be carrying this figure. So, again, it's a 1/12 scale figure. So, if you're into Vampirella, then you might want to check that one out. You Masters of the Universe fans, we got new pre-orders that went up today. So for Cartoon Collection, the Manny Faces, Hordak, and Triclops figures. We've seen images for all these figures before. It's just, again, they went up for pre-order today. You can get them at Big Bad Toy Store or Entertainment Earth. And then for um, Turtles of Grayskull, mutated Ninjor, Clamp Champ, and then new versions of Leonardo and Donatello. So again, we've seen images for these, so we've seen them before, but again, now available for pre-order. McFarlane has a new statue that went up today based on Detective Comics number 27. This is from DC Direct. It's a 110 scale statue. You can get at Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth. It's got the display base. So if you're into Batman and you collect statues, you might want to check that out. Oh, speaking of McFarlane, I know nothing other than they are launching what they're calling the McFarlane Toys Show. This will be on their YouTube channel on December 18th at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. So fairly late in the day, at least for those of us on the East Coast. 2 p.m. Pacific Time, which is where McFarlane is located. So I guess that's why they're doing it at 2 p.m. Pacific Time. But no details, but I'm assuming this is going to be something where they're going to showcase some new products on their YouTube channel. That is an assumption because, again, they've given no details on what exactly this is going to be. But that is my assumption that it's going to be, similar to Hasbro's fan stream. It's going to be, I don't know if it's going to be pre-recorded or live, but it said streaming, so it may be live. But again, on their YouTube channel, December 18th at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. If there are new reveals made during this, we will, of course, have coverage up on the website. We saw the Marvel figures on display from Hot Toys, but they had other brands as well. DC, Terminator, Aliens, Predator. That's a new figure, I believe. Beetlejuice. So there's some more Hot Toy stuff on display at the Tokyo Comic Con from Tomasi Nations. New looks at their Lord of the Rings figures. So these are Frodo's up for pre-order. So is Aragon. That's from the new animated movie. That's the Hera character coming out this month. That is also a figure from the new animated movie. So those are on display. For you Judge Dredd fans, got a new figure from Haya Toys. This is a 112 scale figure of Judge Fear. It is available for pre-order at places like Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth. The cost is $90. So, but again, if you're into Judge Dredd, this is a 6-inch figure. It's being released as a previews exclusive, which means you can also get it through your local comic book store. Though if you want to get it through your comic book store, I would let your comic book store owner know so they can order you one. I don't know if they would carry it otherwise. But 6.7 inches tall is what the figure is said to stand. So, again, from Haya Toys. Oh, this is kind of interesting. So, Entertainment Earth and Big Bad Toy Store in the last 24 hours have put up several pre-orders for several what were previous Hasbro Pulse exclusive figures. So, for G.I. Joe Classified, we've got this Starduster figure. So, if you didn't get it off Hasbro Pulse, and you can get this one is $39 or $34. So this one you'd have to buy something else if you want free shipping at Entertainment Earth. But the other one that they put up for G.I. Joe was the Steel Corp Commander versus Twilight Guard 2-pack. So this one is expensive enough that you automatically get free shipping if you get it through Entertainment Earth. You can get pile of loot shipping from Big Bad Toy Store that's only $4. But again, these were previously Hasbro Pulse exclusives, now available elsewhere. They did the same thing for Star Wars, a bunch of vintage collection items that were previously sold exclusively on Hasbro Pulse, the Jabba the Hutt playset. the Moff Gideon Imperial Light Cruiser hallway playset, the Mos Eisley alleyway, and even that New Republic E-wing are now available at places like Entertainment Earth and Big Bad Toy Store. So I don't know if those didn't sell well, and so they're just letting other retailers carry them, or if the plan was always to eventually let other places carry them. I don't know. But again, those previous Hasbro Pulse exclusives are now available elsewhere. And these are statues, but from Iron Studio. But I gotta tell you, this is a pretty cool looking statue from Mortal Kombat. Now, the first image is kind of using lighted effects. It doesn't actually light up, but still, that's a pretty cool. Actually, it might light up. Let me see. It doesn't light up. I don't think it lights up, but still pretty cool if you're into Mortal Kombat. Again, that's a statue. It's a 1/10 deluxe art scale statue from Iron Studios, but um, I don't really do statues myself, but again, that's pretty cool. If you're into the Invincible series on Amazon, season 3 announced date is February 6th, so mark your calendars. Bunch of figure art stuff went up for pre-order. Oh, next round of naughty or nice figures from Fresh Monkey Fiction, which are sold exclusively at Big Bad Toy Store, have gone up for pre-order this week. So if you got the reindeer last year, Santa's sleigh is now available. We also have Santa Tar, Krampatar, Zombie Pirate Santa, some kids, if you want some kids figures. So these again, your next round of naughty or nice holiday themed figures are now available. Definitely, if you got the reindeer last year, I think you're going to want to get the Santa sleigh. It's got some controls and stuff. Kids, you can do. They have different head sculpts, so you can either make them male or female. No sex change jokes here, please. Pirate Santa. Uh, Again, for you folks who like your holiday themed figures, those are available at Big Bad Toy Store now. Also, for you turtle fans, if you didn't have enough turtle figures on your shelf, we've got some more coming from Heat Boys. This is an overseas company. I don't know what the price is going to be, but I doubt they're going to be cheap. I believe these are like around 7 inches tall, and these are prototypes, so I don't see a lot of articulation here, so I don't know if that's something that will be added. You do get accessories and stuff, so not a lot of details on this line, but again, Heat Boys put these new prototype images out. All right, well, I think that's all I have for you really on the news front today, but let's see what you guys are continuing to say. So I definitely Transformers, Superion, the Aerobots. I definitely am going to get those along with Constructicons. Um, Marvel Legends. I'm probably going to get Unlimited Spider-Man. Definitely the 77 TV series Spider-Man from Walmart. Um, Morrow I'll probably get for X-Men. Fabian Cortez I probably will get. I definitely will not get the whole wave though. Chameleon and Agent Venom and maybe Kane I will get. Professor X I'm on the fence about, but I may get that one. Like I kind of want to wait and see what the X-Men 97 Professor X is going to look like before I decide. So I don't know if we'll have seen that by the time it goes up for pre-order on Target. So I don't know. I just said you broke your number one rule. You previously said you have multiple Hulks. I don't know if you're talking to me. I have multiple Hulks, but I will probably get the new Ultimate Hulk one that comes out. Road Pig John, Aerial Bots combined will be something very cool for my collection. Yeah, I mean, I love the Menasor that they did, and the Devastator looks really good, and these new Aerial Bots also look really good. The Turtles of Grayskull don't have me interested. I did not get into that line myself. In fact, I used to collect the Origins, but then I just kind of decided to stop with the Origins and focus only on Masterverse. So right now, my Masters of the Universe pickings are very slim, but I did not buy any of the Turtle Grayskull stuff. I don't think they look bad. It just didn't interest me that much. I will be curious to see. Yeah, they announced, I think it was at San Diego, they're going to do a similar line with Thundercats and He Man, so that will be interesting to see. Does anybody have any of the NECA Universal monsters? I do not, but I'm sure there are some folks out there, Everett, who do. Let's see. Jason says those Arab. I don't know. I think they look good, but then, like I say, I like G1 inspired toys. They look very much like their G1 counterparts, bigger, a little more articulated. So I like that, but I guess everyone has different opinions. Those Senators look pretty cool. I wish the kids were 1999 like the elves. Yeah, what were they like 24? Let's say what, $24, something like that. 29 bucks, so $30 for the kids. And they're not going to be out until 2026, so you won't even have these in time for next Christmas. But all right, well, I think I'm going to call it a day, but I want to appreciate all you guys coming in. A lot of Marvel Legends stuff. Again, I get that, you know, as they do more and more stuff, I think we all get kind of pickier and choosier on what we decide to buy. I would be flabbergasted if somebody came in and said, "I'm buying everything." I mean, like seriously, it was like, "I'm going to buy everything." But definitely, I think a few cool things there, and more cool things to come. Keep in mind, this is just the tip of the iceberg for 2025. So we got a lot more to come next year. I'll be back on Monday, probably with a live stream again, and then we'll try and get back to the normal schedule of Monday, Wednesday for live streams, and Fridays for pre-recorded videos. Again, I apologize for not doing a pre-recorded video for those that prefer that format. Um, just it's been a long week. I mean, I got back from Florida on Monday, visiting my dad, and then kind of just jumped right into things, and it's been a pretty busy week. So it just felt like the live stream was the better route to go today. But thank you guys for tuning in. If you would like to become an action figure enthusiast channel member, just throwing in my little plug, we're up to 24 members. So haven't gained any new members in last week or so. But again, if you'd like to consider, there's a link. It's 99 cents. A few extra little perks for channel members that I've been trying to do. So do think about considering that if you haven't already. And thank you to everyone who has become a channel member. It is always much appreciated. All right, guys. So stay safe out there. Have a great weekend. Um, if you're on the East Coast like me, stay warm. It's very cold. I think today's high was like 30 degrees, and with the wind chills, like in the 20s. So stay warm out there. Stay safe. And until next time, guys, I'll catch you later. And Salome says, have a great weekend too. Thanks for watching today's video. Now, if you're new to the channel, please think about hitting that subscribe button. Also hit the bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. For all the latest action figure news, be sure to head over to ToyNewsEye.com, MarvelousNews.com, JediInsider.com, and TFormers.com. And remember, action figures are great,